Um, Even then, C was invented by Dennis Ritchie, and it was so powerful, efficient, and structured. The main disadvantage of C is the complexity. The complexity is nothing but when there is an n number of lines which were written in the program, or about 25,000 or 1 lakh lines of code, the programmer was unable to predict the path and or the flow of the program, and that leads to a complexity. To solve this main problem complexity, a new way was invented, and that is called object-oriented programming, and we simply say as the OOP. And it was actually dedicated to manage a large number of programs, and it was easy to use and efficient and easy to learn. And then the trouble started with both, even then with the C++. There was there was one problem with C and the C++ was it was a platform independent, but but Java is a Java is a platform independent, though C and C++ are platform dependent. There's one thing that platform is nothing but these operating systems, kind of Linux, Unix, and Windows, etc. And in C and the C++ are depends upon the platform, and when they run on it, they depend on the platform's resources. But rather in Java, it's a different part. It doesn't depend on the platform. There's another, they introduced another layer called Java Virtual Machine that we're gonna see later. But I just explain a single term of Java Virtual Machine. It just translates a Java program into a byte code, so that it is platform independent, and it's able to run in any kind of platform like Windows and Linux, Unix, etc. And the second one is that is more different from other languages. It is they introduced one particular thing when the world was about to enter into the world, like World Wide Web, into an internet, and Java gives a solution for World Wide Web. And it was able to create more web applications through this Java programming. And I would like to go through a history of Java and who was invented, and what are the types of programs it can do. That first, Java is an object-oriented programming language, and was developed by James Gosling at Sun Microsystem in 1991. And it was initially called as OOP, and later they renamed as Java. As I said earlier, Java programs are platform independent, and Java can be used as a two type of programs, and one is application, another is applets. Applications is nothing but application is a program that runs on our computer, but applets is an application where designed to be transmitted over the internet and is easy to be executed by Java compatible process. Like applets is we can create a kind of an application, and then we can use it through the internet, kind of any other applications through like chat box, etc. These are the types of applets. And then it's bytecode. Bytecode is earlier there was a problem. There was two problem with Java 2. There is one is security and portability, and later they come up with a bytecode solution. Bytecode is nothing but it's highly optimized as a set of instructions designed executed by Java runtime system, which is called Java Virtual Machine. And JVM is nothing but an interpreter. Interpreter means it just simply translates a Java program into a bytecode, so that it is easy to run in any type of platforms. And even then, if a platform any upgrades or a processor upgrades, even then JVM is able to run. Java program is able to run on any type of platforms. Now I'm gonna just go through the features of Java, and there are 10 basic features of Java which are very we need to know all this. And one first is a simple, object-oriented, platform-independent, secure, robust, architecture neutral, portable, high performance, distributed, and multi-threaded. First is simple. As we all as a word say simple, Java is also as simple as like a C and C++ and able to easy understanding. And object oriented. Object oriented is a methodology that simplifies software development and maintenance by providing some concepts, and the concepts are like encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. Later we're gonna see these concepts, and now I just move on to the features. Uh, and then the third one is a platform independent. As I said earlier, it can run in any type of platform, so that if any problem occurs, also it able to run on any type of um, particular platforms. And its Java is simply secured because no explicit pointer are being used, and Java programs run in a virtual machine sandbox that is called JVM, and there is no extra, it doesn't lead to any virus or malicious softwares kind of. It is able to run on, because JVM is a virtual machine. It can run on any platforms. And then a robust, by the name we can say it's a strong, and Java uses a strong memory management. There were lack of pointers even in the security problem. There is an automatic garbage collection in Java, but there is a one mechanism that can lead Java into the next step is exception handling. We're gonna see that in our very coming classes. An exception handling mechanism is very useful for this types of any problem occurs, even then it catches an exception and just throws it. That was Java 2. And next one is architecture neutral. Architecture neutral is earlier Java was found. There was a problem, and even today, like kind of sorry. Later, earlier there was a problem kind of saying, um, if we code today and tomorrow we can't run because of any upgrades or in the processor or upgrades in the platform, it leads to causes another leads to a lot of problems. So that's what it is. The Java is an architecture neutral, and if it tried once, it can run anywhere and anytime. And as I said earlier, it is portable because Java bytecode is being supported to any platform, and these JVM are able to translate a Java code from to a bytecode. And a high performance. High performance is simply Java can are actually designed to perform on a low power CPUs, so it is faster than a traditional another languages, and the bytecode is simply close to the native code. And uh, distributed. We create a lot of distributed applications, and Java is designed for distributed applications of the internet. And it handles the TCP/IP protocols, and RMI and EJP. RMI is nothing but a remote method invocation, and EJP is nothing but enterprise Java beans. These two are the main used for creating a distributed applications, and these files can be accessed over these files can be called from anywhere of the machine. So that's why we call it as a distributed. From anywhere, anytime we can access the files. And last is multi-threaded. Multi-threaded a thread is a process, and if in previous cases and all, we can't run n number of processes simultaneously, but Java found a way, a thread which can run n number of processes simultaneously. And the main advantage of the for Java is it does not copy or occupy a memory for every each thread, but it shares a memory. So this type of multi-threaded is being useful for many type of multimedia web applications. We can do a simultaneous process. For this kind of multi-threaded is being used. This is how this is what features of Java. And then what type of applications that Java is being for being programmed. There are four type of applications that are created using Java programming. And first is standalone application, and second is web application, and third is enterprise application, and fourth is mobile application. A standalone application is nothing but a desktop application or an Windows based application. If you want to, like, usually nowadays people started a freelance, they started having doing a projects on own by using this web window based application. They can create a number of applications and give to the customers. So Java is one of the main Java can lead to the can able to understand and do the concepts in Windows based application. So it also it's used for standalone application, and the AWT and the Swing are used in Java for creating a standalone applications. And web application, second one is web application. Web application is an application that runs on a server side and create dynamic pages is called web applications. And currently serverlet, JSP, and etc. A lot of technologies are used for creating web applications in Java. And the third one is enterprise application. Enterprise application is nothing but we can create applications called like kind of banking applications or any high security level, any government applications, or that has been used for by Java can be used for all this. And the main part, EJP is being used for creating this enterprise application. EJP is nothing but, as I said earlier, it's an enterprise Java beans. It is a kind of a package we used for an enterprise applications. And last is mobile application. Mobile application is used for create for all mobiles. Usually nowadays we started creating an Android apps, lot of things, and these all apps are being created by Java programming. And I just want to just compare a C++ and the Java, because it will better understanding what are the concepts are being used in the Java and not in C++. Let's just go through this comparison. And C++ is a platform dependent, and Java is a platform independent. C++ is mainly used for system programming. Java is mainly used for application programming, which can be do a lot of application programming as for now the current market is doing right now. And C++ supports go-to statement, and Java doesn't support a go-to statement. C++ support multiple inheritance, and Java does not support a multiple inheritance through class. And another way is it can achieve through an interface is in Java. Operator overloading, or C++ supports an operator overloading, but Java doesn't. And the pointers, C++ supports pointers, and you can write a separate pointer program for C++, but Java supports doesn't support a pointer, but it cannot write an external program to write an for a pointer. And C++ uses compiler only, but Java uses both compiler and the interpreter. As I said, interpreter is kind of a JVM. It interprets Java code. And C++ for in case of call by value and call by reference, C++ supports the call by value and the call by reference, but Java supports only the call by value. There's no call by reference in Java. C++ supports structures and the unions. Java doesn't support structure and the unions. A thread. C++ does not support the threads, and Java just supports the threads. And for the documentation command, C++ does not support a documentation command, but Java supports a documentation command. Virtual keyboard. C++ supports a visual keyboard, but Java does not support a visual keyboard. And the last is unsigned write shift. C++ does not support an unsigned write shift. Java supports an unsigned write shift operator that can fills with the zero at the top of the negative numbers. And these are the main just a genesis of Java. Right now we went through the what is how why Java has been implemented, and what are the features of Java, and what are the types that Java program can do, what are the type of applications the Java program do, and what are the comparison between the C++ and Java. Right now we're gonna see this overview of Java, and mainly I just want to go through the object-oriented programming concepts. There are two ways of how a program can be constructed. Is process-oriented model and a object-oriented model. Previously, we were using C and C plus C. We are using a process-oriented model. It has a series of a structure, and is simply called as a code acting on a data. That is called a process-oriented model. And object-oriented model is just a organize a program around the data. That's what and simply called as data controlling access to the code. This is called a project-oriented model. And in this project-oriented programming is a methodology which have this is used to manage program using classes and objects. Some concepts of OOPS I would like to explain, and basic concepts of OOPS. First is objects, class, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and
Sorry to interrupt you.
function.
Giddy, everything is going good. Okay, super பண்றீங்க. ஸோ ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. ஸ்லைடு முடிச்ச பிறகு ஏதாவது queries இருக்கான்னு கேட்டுக்கோங்க. ஓகேவா?
And I couldn't hear you now. Hello?
இப்போ கேக்குதா?
Uh.
ஹலோ,
Yeah.
கேக்குதா?
கேக்குதுண்ணா.
ஓகேவா? ஸோ சூப்பரா பண்றீங்க, ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை. 2-3 ஸ்லைட் முடிஞ்ச பிறகு ஏதாவது queries இருக்கான்னு கேட்டுக்கோங்க.
Okay.
ஓகேவா? ஸோ அதுக்கப்புறம் எனக்கு வேற எந்த மிஸ்டேக் இல்லை. ப்ரொனன்சியேஷன் எல்லாமே நல்லா தான், கம்யூனிகேஷன் நல்லா தான் இருக்கு. ஸோ ஓகேவா? இந்த இதை மட்டும் எனக்கு ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணிட்டு எனக்கு மெயில் ஐடி அனுப்புறீங்களா? நான் வந்து அப்படியே ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் பண்ணிடுறேன்.
இது ஃபுல்லா எடுத்துட்டானா OOPS பிரின்சிபல்ஸ் ஃபுல்லா
ஓகே நன்றி. ஆமா, நீங்க ரெக்கார்ட் பட்டன் ஸ்டாப் பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
ஓகேண்ணா, ஒரு நிமிஷம்.